Richard Southern joins us now to chat about the day's top business stories, and we begin with something that Canadian sports fans have been waiting a long time for, the ability to bet on single games, Richard.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not a gambler, you mightn't realize this, Erica, but right now, legally in Canada, you can't bet on the outcome of a single game, like a single Leaf game or a single Jays game. You have to bet on multiple games at a time. They initially brought that in the government to prevent fixing of matches, but critics have said what it's done is really just drive billions of dollars offshore to illegal websites. All this is going to change. Government source confirms to 680 News the details of the federal plan to legalize single-game sports betting will be unveiled tomorrow in Niagara Falls. The first thing we need to know is when this is going to come into effect. The bill to legalize this passed in June, but has not been brought into effect by the Prime Minister just yet. The Ford government here in Ontario said it's opening up the gambling market to third-party operators. So you'll be able to bet on that single game through a multitude of websites, not just through the OLG. Erica, I was down in Niagara Falls at Fallsview Casino a couple of weeks ago interviewing the president, and he showed me the huge sports book they're building on the casino floor there to take advantage of this new system. But he said, hey, we need to know all the details first before we open it up. So he's going to get that tomorrow, and we'll certainly bring you those details tomorrow when we get them.
Interesting. All right. Yesterday, we got a sneak peek at Apple's plans for the next line of iPhones, but Apple isn't the only company rolling out some new innovations.
Samsung announcing new phones today, but Erica, these ones fold up like a sheet of paper. Ooh. Samsung has already been. Yeah, I know. I don't know. Would you need a foldable phone, Erica?
I don't know if I mean, I had like a similar one. I had those clam phones back in the day. So I guess this is, yeah.
I loved the flip phone back in the day because you could slam it closed if you were mad at somebody,
That's
Erica.
True.
Well, I guess not that I have a lot of angry calls or anything, but I guess the idea with these is that I'm just very dramatic all the time. The idea is with these, Erica, is that it could save space. Smartphones are getting bigger and bigger. These Samsung phones could fold up. They haven't sold very well, but Samsung announcing some new versions with cheaper price tags. It's Galaxy Fold 3. The price dropping 10%, but it still costs $1,800. A smaller version for $999. Foldable phones make up just 0.6% of all smartphones made. 0.6% of all smartphones sold, but still, sales are moving higher than where they were last year.
All right, and finally, what does an economic recovery sound like? We're getting an interesting illustration tonight, Richard.
So this is different. Interact, the debit and credit card processor, tracked Canadian spending through the pandemic, and they plotted it on a graph and turned it into a song. So when spending spikes, you hear higher notes. When it drops, you hear lower notes. So we're going to take a quick listen. The pandemic, of course, started with us stockpiling all sorts of things. So spending was up. Then you're going to hear the lower notes when the lockdown kicks in. Take a listen. Kind of groove into that, Erica.
Strange.
Right?
I don't know if I'll hear that at the club anytime soon. Okay.
It's a little gimmicky, but certainly highlights the ups and downs for spending over the past year and a half. You can actually input your own account, and it'll give you your own song. By the way, Interact tells me they contend business is going well for them because fewer people are using cash and are using their cards, Erica, instead. Yeah.